Welcome back, sinners, and today we're going to be diving into the film The Thing, a 2011 reboot of the original 1982 film directed by Mathis van Heiningen Jr., starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Joel Edgerton, Ulrich Thompson, and Eric Christian Olsen, where a team of scientists battles alien viruses for survival. The movie begins with three Norwegian scientists following a signal in a snowcat across a sizable and mountainous area of snow. When they suddenly stop, a crack in the ice makes the snowcat fall into a fissure, where it becomes wedged. When the headlight from the snowcat points down, the group sees a spaceship lying down in the ice fissure. Meanwhile, somewhere in the city, an American paleontologist named Kate Lloyd is visited by the Norwegian researcher Sander, who persuades her to travel to Antarctica after informing her that they have discovered a structure and an organism. Along with her colleague Adam, Kate agrees to board the helicopter being flown by Americans Carter and Jameson to the Norwegian camp in Antarctica. As soon as they arrive at the camp, they meet the other Norwegians there, including Edvard, the camp's leader, and Lars, a mechanic who is the only one there without any knowledge of the English language, and who owns an Alaskan Malamute. Kate, Adam, and the Norwegians board a snowcat and travel to the location where they can see the top of the ship, completely encased in the ice. They show Kate a strange-looking organism encased in ice that is located far from the ship. They then talk about the organism's removal at camp, which they predict will take most of the day. The organism is later taken out and placed inside an ice block-encased wooden room at the camp. Kate objects when Sander says he wants to take a tissue sample first because they need to sterilize and take other safety precautions. Sander doesn't like Kate giving suggestions, and he warns her not to question him in front of the other people. Drilling a hole through the ice, they take a sample of the organism's frozen flesh and put it in a petri dish. Later, while having a party in the camp's recreation room, the team as a whole realizes what they have found is aliens. As they're having fun, the alien's ice block starts to melt slowly. The Alaskan Malamute, which is imprisoned in a cage, begins to bark and make an attempt to escape when it senses something is not right. After some time, Jameson exits the restroom and enters the space where the ice block is located. On his way, Lars frightens him by yelling "boo" at him from behind, and then Lars departs. The unseen thing suddenly breaks through the ice and leaps through the ceiling. Jameson returns to the recreation area and alerts the others to the thing's survival and escape. As they enter the room, they all notice the ice block with the hole that the thing made when it fled. In order to find the thing, Sander instructs the teams to split into twos and threes. One group enters the dog kennel and discovers a significant hole in the wall filled with blood and fur. Henrik and Olav, two Norwegians, notice the thing under one of the structures. When first observed, the thing resembles a large beetle because of its slimy appearance, numerous crab-like legs, large mouth, and tentacles. One of the tentacles shoots out and pierces Henrik's chest, dripping blood onto Olav's face. The thing then drags Henrik back under the structure and begins to consume him. Seeing that, Olav screams and everyone rushes to help. With the exception of the thing jumping inside the building it was under and climbing up it, their initial rifle shots at the thing have little impact. It is then doused in kerosene and set on fire by the team. The thing collapses to the ground with Henrik still partially projecting out from its mouth. The group then returns inside while still in a state of confusion. Olav is given treatment and appears to be very ill after witnessing the horror. Since he needs medical attention, Carter informs the group that he will return to civilization in the morning. The team is then informed by Sander that even though Henrik has passed away, they are still scientists, and this might be their only opportunity to research the thing. Then Sander brings inside the thing's burned remains. When they perform an autopsy on the thing, they discover Henrik's upper body, and Kate remarks on how fresh-looking his skin appears. Later, Kate inquires about a piece of metal after removing it from outside Henrik's body. She learns from Henrik's coworkers that he underwent surgery to insert a titanium bar into his arm to treat a fracture. Kate wonders, why was it outside of his body? and nobody seems to have an answer for that. The Thing's cells are later examined under a microscope by Kate and Adam. After examining, they find out that not only are the cells still present, but they're also engulfing and replicating Henrik's cells. The following morning, Kate is in the restroom as Carter and Jameson get the helicopter ready. She picks up 4 bloody silver dental fillings off the floor after spotting something bloody there. She then notices a lot of blood in the shower, but no dead body. Carter and Jameson board the helicopter along with Olav and another Norwegian named Griggs, and the 4 depart. Kate then runs outside to stop them and warn them about her findings. Carter, who is flying the helicopter, sees Kate flagging them down and decides to land. Meanwhile, Olav inquires as to what is wrong because he appears awful. Griggs reassures him that everything is fine before splitting in half and opening his chest to reveal tentacles and teeth that resemble ribs. Griggs, who has been duplicated, kills Olav, and the helicopter loses its control and crashes behind a mountain, killing all 4 of them seemingly. Confused by seeing what happened, Sander approaches Kate and asks her why she tried to stop the helicopter. When the team is all together again inside, Kate explains that she discovered silver fillings in the restroom. She also tells them how cells replicate, and how, in her theory, the Thing is capable of perfectly duplicating any organism. According to her, the Thing rejects inorganic materials like metal dental fillings and metal plates, because it cannot replicate them. No one wants to believe her, so they decide to send a few members of the team to a nearby Russian camp to seek assistance. The lone female team member from Norway, Juliet, stays behind with Kate and informs her that she saw Colin, another team member, leaving the restroom carrying a rag. Hearing that, Kate informs her that they must prevent the team from leaving, and Juliet claims to know where the snowcat keys are. They enter a room, and as Kate looks in a drawer for the keys, she hears a slimy noise coming from behind. When she turns to check where it's coming from, Kate sees Juliet slicing in half. Juliet Thing then tries to attack her, but Kate exits the room, walks down the hall, passes another Norwegian, and tells him to run. But when he doesn't listen to her, Juliet Thing stabs him with a tentacle and kills him. At that time, Adam and Lars arrive there with a flamethrower and lit Juliet through the door as she absorbs the victim of her attack. The team then assembles, where Kate informs them that the Thing is similar to a virus. Anyone who comes into contact with blood or the Thing's cells reportedly becomes assimilated. She queries Adam on the best course of action for viruses. Adam says, quarantine, implying that they will first isolate it before destroying it. To find out who might be infected, they choose to perform a blood test. While Lars and Kate turn off all the snowcats, Adam and Sander work in the lab on the blood test. Lars then shows Kate some grenades, in case they need to use them. As they turn around to go back, they notice that the lab area of the camp is on fire. Then, 2 people can be seen moving closer to their camp. It's Jameson and Carter, 2 of the members from the helicopter crash. They couldn't have simply walked away from the helicopter crash, so everyone assumes that they must be replicas of the Thing. Kate stops the others from killing them and locks them inside a room, until they find a way to confirm that the 2 are not replicas of the Thing. As the group begins to accuse one another, Kate says she is aware of another test to find out if anyone is affected by the Thing. She then asks Lars to open his mouth as she retrieves a flashlight, because from what she found out, the replica of the Thing will not have any teeth fillings, as it cannot replicate metal. Kate investigates and discovers that everyone has teeth fillings, with the exception of Sander, Edvar, Colin, and Adam. Kate then asks Lars to get Jameson and Carter from where they have been locked up, while the suspecting 4 are held at gunpoint. Lars, with another Norwegian, Jonas, goes to the building and sees Jameson and Carter escape from there through a hole in the floor. Lars then goes in search of Jameson and Carter, but before he finds them, he suddenly disappears. Jonas runs back to the team and informs them that the alien has gotten Lars' life. Conflicted, they do not know if they need to keep an eye on the members with no metal filling or the Americans. At that time, Carter and Jameson come into the building with a flamethrower, and they have a standoff with Peter. The rest of the team hide behind Peter, and Edvard yells at Peter to kill Carter and Jameson, saying they are the true enemies. Jameson shoots Peter in the head with a gun just as Peter is about to blast them with his flamethrower. While shooting, Jameson also hits the flamethrower tank, causing gas to spill out. As soon as the gas touches the flame at the flamethrower's tip, it explodes. The blast knocks Edvard to the ground with severe injuries. Carter and Jameson suddenly gain the upper hand because they have all the weapons. Later, they get everyone to enter the recreation room while two of the Norwegians are carrying Edvard. As soon as he enters the space, Edvard's arms abruptly separate from his body and change into tiny, crab-like creatures. One of these creatures then attacks Jonas and latches onto his face. The Edvard thing then develops a tentacle that stabs Adam, critically injuring him, before fatally wounding Jameson. Due to air that has become trapped in the main fuel line, Kate and Carter are unable to successfully operate the flamethrower, hence they try to get it fixed. Meanwhile, Adam is approached by the Edvard thing, which has grown new arms and legs, and it begins to merge with him as their faces are joined. The now Edvard Adam thing escapes Kate's flamethrower attack and tumbles to the ground in the snow. When she enters the recreation area again, she discovers Jonas being consumed by the thing and uses the flamethrower to extinguish both of them. While all this happens, Jameson passes away due to the injuries, and Carter steps aside to allow Kate to fire the flamethrower at the dead Jameson. Meanwhile, the thing, which has now completely absorbed Adam into itself, discovers Sander while he is hiding behind a desk and attacks him. After that, it follows Carter into the kitchen and tries to kill him. But Kate arrives there and fires the flamethrower blast at the creature, just as it prepares to attack Carter, causing it to crash through a wall and fall to the snow outside where it burns. They later witness the Sander thing make off in a snowcat. Carter explains to Kate that she should let him go because he will freeze and has nowhere else to go. Kate does not want to take a chance though, as millions of people could perish if the alien is successful in leaving Antarctica. After getting into the other snowcat, Kate and Carter follow Sander to the spaceship. As they're traveling, Kate notices a golden earring in Carter's left ear, which gives her confidence that he is unaffected. When she inquires as to what became of Lars, Carter replies that they didn't kill him. After arriving at the location, they both move towards an open hatch in the ship. But the ship activates, and Kate falls through a vent into the ship, arriving at a point in the ship that appears to be the energy source. When she looks around the place, the Sander thing appears from behind and chases her into a tunnel. While the thing tries to pull her out, she grabs a grenade and throws it into the thing's mouth, where it explodes and destroys it as well as the ship's energy source. Carter arrives there and they both make their way outside from there. After reaching back to the snowcat, Kate notices Carter missing his earring. She then takes the flamethrower in her hand and asks him where his earring is, to which Carter says he might have missed it. But while saying that, he points out to the wrong ear, letting Kate know that he is also affected by the alien thing. She then points the flamethrower to him, and while he yells no, she douses him with the flamethrower. Carter emits an inhuman screeching sound as he burns. She then climbs into the snowcat and flees in the direction of the Russian camp. We then return to a helicopter landing at the camp during the end credits. Colin is seen seated at the radio, frozen and dead, where his throat and wrists are cut. A Norwegian helicopter pilot yells out everyone's name, and Lars comes outside with a gun pointed at the pilot. He then checks the pilot's teeth and confirms that he is not an alien. As they were speaking, the Alaskan Malamute jumps out of a broken window and Lars tries to shoot the dog, but it flees. Lars yells at the helicopter's pilot, telling him it's not a dog, and boards the aircraft. The two Norwegian pilots, along with Lars, then chase the dog while firing from the helicopter as the film fades to black.